first edition of the MavLife Sports Report. I'm Connor Hines, alongside me, my co-anchor Bryce Gallagher, to take you through a full recap of Maverick Football's loss last Friday night in their home opener to the Desert Vista Thunder from Phoenix, Arizona. Highlights coming up next, as well as a breakdown and preview of Week 2's contest this Friday night on the road against the Trabuco Hills Mustangs. Bryce, obviously last week a 31-23 loss to the Desert Vista Thunder from Phoenix, Arizona. Not the ideal way to start a season though, but the Mavs sure put up one heck of a fight last Friday night.
You were 100% correct, Connor. Like you said, not the best way to start out the season. The Mavs will definitely be looking to bounce back this week against Trabuco Hills.
Couldn't agree with you more. Let's get to the highlights from last Friday night. So once again, it's the La Costa Canyon Mavericks welcoming the Desert Vista Thunder in the season opener, Bryce.
Okay, so here we have meeting at midfield, captains. Mavericks would win the toss and deferred for the first time in 2015 season.
We'll pick it up in the first quarter. Desert Vista up a field goal and a screen pass to Thunder receiver Malik Fuller jarred loose by first-year free safety Will Peartree. Mavericks offense back on the field.
And just a couple plays later, handoff to running backs DJ Side. The decent gain gets the Mavericks deep into Thunder territory.
Deep into Thunder territory, then almost immediately following with Zach Goodkin in the slot. Tanner Clark finds Goodkin on the left side, and the Mavs are on the brink of taking the lead in the first.
And after the Goodkin setup is an easy 1-yard run straight up the gut for Tanner Clark. The Mavs are up 7-3 at the end of the first quarter.
Desert Vista would get the ball back, only to have this beauty of a run down the left side, a 75-yard gain downfield for Lalon Dillard. Dillard really putting on his speed, strength, and agility on display tonight in the Friday night rather in the Mavericks season opener. And then just a few plays later, it's too easy for running back Isaiah Ford on the ground around the right side. Desert Vista retakes the lead.
Then you wouldn't guess it, with the Thunder up by 3, LCC recovers yet another loose ball.
Another loose ball and another opportunity for La Costa Canyon to possibly even take the lead going into the half. And then check this out, what a way to conclude the first quarter of action. Mavs send Jake Conkey and the field goal unit to try a 49-yard field goal. Wouldn't you know it, it's good. Somehow, someway, Conkey makes it happen, and the game is tied at the half.
And out of the half, in a 10-10 tie, Keshad White wastes no time. What a run return down the right side of the field to quickly push into Maverick territory.
Yeah, Keshad White and the Thunder making their presence known early in the second half. What a run indeed. Another really hugely decisive factor in this game tonight. And then a nearly identical 1-yard touchdown run for Isaiah Ford, give him his second touchdown of the night, and Desert Vista's up by 3, soon to be 4 in the second half. Boy, was the running game strong and well in force in the Maverick season opener last Friday night.
Definitely. And Connor, probably the most decisive moment in this one. Mavs are back to receive from Desert Vista punt, and it is muffed. Desert Vista quickly takes back over.
Yeah, they quickly took back over, and it really just slid downhill from there, Bryce. The Thunder quickly taking a 10-point lead here on this play, and they go on to win the final score 31-23 in the 2015 season opener for the La Costa Canyon Mavericks. So now, Bryce, as we look forward to Week 2 at Trabuco Hills up the road, the Mavericks 0-1 and the Mustangs are 0-1 as well after being dominated by Rancho Cucamonga 45-10 in their opener last Friday night. The Trabuco Hills Mustangs, they're the defending CIF Southern Section champions. They finished last year 10-4 under head coach Tony Henney, who is no longer with Trabuco Hills, finishing rank of 32 in the state and 338 in the nation.
That's right, Connor. Last season was their best season since 2009, when the team went 12-2 on the season and was undefeated within the CV League. And Connor, you mentioned Tony Henney, who's no longer with the team. So defensive coordinator Joey Sylvie, who's now the varsity head coach, steps up for his first year with Trabuco. He has been a head coach for 5 years and a defensive coordinator for 13. He began his coaching career at Santa Margarita Catholic High School, where they captured back-to-back CIF championships in 1996 and 1997. He then moved south to Carlsbad High, guiding the Lancer defense to championship seasons in 2002, 2006, and 2007.
Bryce, you talk about 3 championships with the Carlsbad Lancers just up the road. So Joe Sylvie, obviously some success with the Lancers rather. Hasn't really gotten a real taste of it yet though with the Trabuco Hills Mustangs rather, after getting blown out by Rancho Cucamonga 45-10 in their opener. Trabuco Hills began the year ranked 53rd in the state and 518 in the nation. LCC defeated Trabuco, in fact, 34-7 in week 3 of the 2014-2015 season, thanks to 13 unanswered points from LCC in the 4th quarter. The Mavs run D was resilient against Crosby and the Trabuco run game, limiting them to just 2.8 yards per carry overall. So it's going to be interesting to note with the youth of this defense how they're going to be able to step up. The Mavs run defense obviously a lot different than it was just a year ago. So Bryce, with all this said here, what is La Costa Canyon going to have to do if they want to be successful up north, win this game, and get back to 500 on the year?
Right, Connor. So in order to win this game, the LCC offense needs to utilize their passing game. And on the defensive side, with Will Peartree out with the concussion, Nick Demos and the rest of the LCC defense needs to step up their game in order to contain the Trabuco Hill Mustangs.
Yeah, Bryce, you mentioned Will Peartree, who made that outstanding play in the highlights we saw last week against the Desert Vista Thunder. So obviously going to be a big missing piece in week 2 against the Mustangs. So many players from last year who are no longer with us. The youth of this defense, is going to be really interesting to see whether or not they can step up here in week 2 against Trabuco Hills. MavLife Sports, in fact, going to have live broadcast coverage of that one all the way from Trabuco Hills High School. We're going up the road, so you all don't have to. Live coverage begins at 6:45 p.m. on our Ustream, MavLife Sports stream on Ustream.com, and of course at MavLife Sports on Twitter. For the first MavLife Sports report, that's going to do it from